What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy All-Star Izzy. Cheers. Great to see everyone. I just came back from being outside, but I wanted to discuss this very interesting concept. So, salute. Can't do no wrong with some water. But regardless, I wanted to get into this interesting concept, so bear with me. If you're new here, or if you're not new here, I like to talk a lot about types and everything, preferences, and why you shouldn't care about what a woman's type is. Reason is because, due to my experience, women that I've met, women that say they have different types, it never really mattered. It's more of a feeling that she feels. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I talk about types or preferences, whatever a woman has her ideal partner as or her dream guy, I never want you guys to actually care about that shit. The reason is because it's always going to be a feeling of who she really wants to be inclined to. And I talked about being a sexually attractive man and what experiences you can have from that, because when she's feeling you on a sexual level and she's attracted to you, all the rules break, okay? We're just gonna have to say how it is. But check me out though, because the women that I've been with and that told me I wasn't necessarily their type or their ideal person or whatever the case is, and they weren't trying to undermine me or call me anything, right? Because we still fly sexy. I'm a Mexican man. So they would be with other races besides myself, but when they were with me, they would always tell me how they love how I made them feel and how desirable they were with me, like that primal shit. And this is in my experience. But the man who isn't her ideal type, but she's still sexually attracted to, becomes a trailblazer for the next man to come forward. Because listen, women are gonna experience some things. Just gotta end. It is what it is. You don't gotta hold on to it for what it is. It could just be some casual sex, casual hooking up. It could have been a nice thing, but then the fling can end up going, whatever the case is. But just know, and I've known because I remember a woman told me, she was like, I started messing with certain, Hispanic men after you. And she was like, it's not even necessarily how they look, but I started to see that in other men, and that's Mexican or Hispanic. They have a certain attitude, demeanor that I'm more inclined to want to have a conversation with or be sexually attracted to more. And that made me think. I was like, this is what I'm talking about when I tell men to stop worrying about a woman's type. Now, does she necessarily not want to be in public or whatever the case is? Don't even worry about that. But it's more saying that when she experiences you, because it should be an experience of yourself, we can take race and physical away from it. It's more of like how you make her feel is what's really associated with the type of person she wants to see going throughout. And I made a statement before saying that women only go women only meet like 3 to 5 rare motherfuckers in her lifetime ever that makes her feel like the only girl in the world and the butterflies or she's really sexually attracted to. But I want you to understand that it doesn't matter what type of woman she looks like, whether she looks super wealthy, whether she looks incredibly intimidating, she looks coy, she's a CEO, whatever the case is. I want you to focus on the aspect of providing a quality experience in how you confidently approach, or how you approach and comes with confidence with that, in a conversation with that, and saying what you need to say. Because it's all about that which creates a trailblazing movement. Or let's say you're not necessarily the trailblazer of in the situation. You're more of the guy who still has that attitude the way he did. But if it wasn't for the guy who didn't care about her type, her preferences, she would have never looked at you at a certain way, and she could have, it could still happen, but she's now more open-minded because a man was open-minded to approach her, talk sexually to her, flirt with her, and she said, I feel some way about this person. I thought it was only associated with a certain type of person. I thought it was only associated with a certain type of status. Now listen, I want you to get right for yourself. But I want you to also truly understand that sexual attraction has no type whatsoever. It's a feeling, it's a behavior, it's an attitude. It can be the eye contact, could be the body language. It could be the way that you're back and forth, witty, the banter that can follow along with it. It could be everything that comes into that moment of experience. But just know, go out there and have that conversation, even if your mind is making a judgment on a woman to be like, oh, she might be out of my league or stuff like that. You never know what it is, really. Plus, too, I always have that theory of it's more than meets the eye. You want to have a conversation with a woman still, regardless of whatever that you think in your mind. Don't just see based off of that. She looks like a singer. She just got off of the stage. She's probably going to be hella stuck up. You never knew that until you had a conversation with her and be like, wow, you're a lot more open-minded than I think or I thought. But being led off of curiosity, having a conversation with her, And despite anything that your mind is saying or what society usually pressures to be like, oh, you gotta be this certain dude or act a certain way, you can just be a guy who can talk up some good shit and make her feel a good thing. And she could have been like, wow, I'm actually glad that you approached me and had a conversation with me and we have a quality of experience. Maybe you actually fucked her, whatever the case is. You guys smash, you have a good time. But being a man who can lead off of curiosity and be open-minded to different experiences shows that she will also do the same thing, because based off your own freedom within yourself and your confidence, it actually created a pattern, or it created a domino effect going further into her life, making her more of a woman who can have an experience and be open-minded with other men and be like, damn, this is really what it is. But it would never happen if it wasn't for the guy that wasn't necessarily her type, but she was still attracted to, and things still happen. It opens doors for the next man. So regardless of what category you fit in, just remember to go for what you want, because you never know for what it is, and there's more to a story than you believe in your mind. The lack of open-mindedness from you wanting to approach her is actually signaling to her and to you that you're not going to approach her. It's not even signaling in a bad way to like, oh my God, you're going to see all these signals. But what it's really doing is basically creating tension within yourself. You have internal conflict, which comes into like a paralysis and thinking, wait, should I approach her? Should I say something? No, I shouldn't, because she's like this, she's like that. And all those steps are continuously happening. But from the lack of you being open-minded and curious and confident enough to go have a conversation with her, which you don't necessarily need all the confidence in the world to be like, hey, what's up, girl? No, you just need to have a convo and say what's up. But because of that, you end up missing an opportunity, not even just with her, but for yourself, to see who you really are and go for what you want, because those opportunities are always being presented. But because you create that internal conflict with yourself, she could have actually maybe wanted you to talk to her, but because you didn't, now the opportunity is gone and you create more conflict within yourself. And this can take away from an experience that you could have for you, but also teach her to be open-minded for other things. So it's like, even in attraction, you're still teaching something, because what you do for yourself is what you're going to also do for others, and how they're going to do for themselves if they choose to be around you continuously. What are you teaching and what are you showing? And are you trailblazing a path? And even if you're not, are you at least holding away on your own side? My name is All Star Izzy. Beautiful concept and a beautiful time. Until next time, guys.